What's up, YouTube? KidMoto22 here, and I am coming to you guys today on a late fall, for me, November day, and I am out riding. It is a great feeling to be out this late in the season riding my motorcycle, and all thanks to having some heated gear. But the heated gear is not what I want to talk to you guys about today, because obviously if you're watching this video you will have seen already the reviews I did, and possibly the motovlog I did talking about my heated gear and how this has enabled me to extend my season. But there's been a topic that's kind of been at the top of mind for me, especially lately, with you know, there's been a lot of backlash against Harley Davidson for various reasons. And I don't want to get into anything specific about any of that backlash, because that's really not what I want to focus on. But what I want to focus on is brand hate in general. You know, specifically Harley hate, because that's, you know, what I know. I ride a Harley, and I think it's unique to the motorcycling industry. And so yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about that today. You know, kind of that Harley brand hate. So welcome back, everybody. KidMoto22 here, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about brand hate, Harley brand hate. I don't get it, I don't understand it, but I want to unpack it a little bit and see if I can you know, see if we can start some dialogue. So I feel like there's this kind of weird thing that happens with Harley Davidson and brand hate, and I don't really understand it. I don't get it. I don't subscribe to it. I don't do it myself. But it's this really interesting thing where people that don't ride Harleys hate on the brand, and even some people that do ride Harleys hate on the brand, and I don't really understand it. And it's unique, I think, to motorcycling, because I don't really feel like it exists in other modes of transportation. You know, I don't think there's this prolific Dodge hate or this Chevy hate or Ford hate or whatever. I mean, I think that exists, but I don't think it exists with the same vigor that you get in the motorcycling industry, specifically aimed against Harley, and I really don't understand it. So I'm just going to use the Dodge Neon as an example, right? So if any of you are out there are old enough to remember the Dodge Neon, it was a vehicle that Dodge put out about 20 years ago. For all intents and purposes, this car was a piece of crap. It was poorly made, it was cheaply made, they didn't last very long. I think the Neon had a run of about 10 years. And I know quite a few people that own that vehicle, that there were a couple generations of that vehicle that were just straight up a lemon. The engines blew up, the powertrain was terrible. You know, they made an attempt to make this really cheap, affordable vehicle, and it was cheap. It was cheaply made, cheap parts, and it was garbage. But I didn't hear people like, I can't believe Dodge made that car, I'm leaving, I'm selling all my Dodge vehicles. I didn't hear the same type of, you know, kind of just visceral reaction to that vehicle as you get when Harley puts out a motorcycle that people don't agree with. You know, when Harley came out with the Milwaukee 8, there was just all these people talking about how horrible the engine was, and it sounds like a sewing machine, and you know, it's a terrible engine. You know, and the same thing happened when they moved to the Evo, when they put out the twin cam. You know, there seems to be this necessity for Harley owners to, you know, to go after anything that's different or changes. And I think it's interesting because as a brand, they've been around longer than most of us have been riding, than all of us have been riding, right? I mean, there's no 109-year-old riders out there. So they obviously have some things in the industry figured out. You know, they know what they're doing. They know they have to change. They know they have to evolve. And they do that, and then they get this constant criticism and hate about doing it. And I don't know if it's driven behind just the passion that you know, Harley is, you know, drives this passion like maybe no other vehicle industry drives. I don't know, but it seems like there's this prolific hate for whenever anything is something different in the brand. And I think that hate extends to people that don't ride the motorcycle. You know, so say you have guys that ride you know, Hondas, and they hate Harley riders or the motorcycle in general. And don't get me wrong, I think that there's reason for people to hate on the brand, because I think that there are some riders out there that fuel the fire behind why people should, behind why people should get on the brand or hate the brand or whatever. Because I think there's some stereotypes that exist within the brand that make it easy for people to pick on the brand. But it just seems to be so, just so visceral, right? So if you don't ride a Harley, you're not a real motorcyclist. I mean, I know that there are Harley riders that are like that they're only going to ride with people that ride Harleys. And I know that there are people that don't ride Harleys that think that the Harleys are the worst motorcycle. They're unreliable. They break down. You have to be a mechanic to own one. There's all this different kind of, hate surrounding the brand, which I think is just unique to motorcycling. And I think if the riders that are riding now, if we want to get more people riding motorcycles and into our brand and into just two wheels, that some of this hate just has to subside. This brand hate, this I hate Harley, or I hate Honda, or I hate whatever. It's gotta go away, because I think we're chasing away a new generation of rider that isn't attached to all of the things that people hate on motorcycling about. New riders aren't as attached to brands. The new generation, the younger generation of kids aren't, they don't necessarily care about Chevy or Ford or Harley or Honda or any of that stuff. They're looking for an experience. And I can tell you, from riding as long as I've been riding, both as a passenger when I was a kid and as a rider now, I can tell you that there is almost nothing that's going to bring you as a unique of experience to travel as motorcycling does. I mean, motorcycling is fun, and we need to think more about motorcycling as something that's fun rather than a reason to hate or a reason to be different. In motorcycling, it's so unique in the fact that if you meet somebody that rides a motorcycle, you automatically have something in common. You automatically have something to talk about. You don't even need an icebreaker because it's already there. And I think that's so unique to motorcycling, and it doesn't exist in so many other things. You ride a motorcycle and you almost instantly can make friends with somebody who also rides a motorcycle. And that doesn't have to be brand specific. And yet, we find it necessary to continue to propagate this hate for specific brands, and I don't get it. And so somebody explain it to me, because I think it's served its purpose and it's past its time. I think we need to discard brand hate, Harley or otherwise. I think the generation of riders that make up the bulk of riders need to choose to do things differently. We need to choose to, take some responsibility for getting newer, younger riders on the road, for making new riders. I think we need to take some responsibility for how we treat other riders that ride motorcycles that aren't the same as ours. And we need to embrace more of those things rather than continue to support hate for brands or people that are doing things different than we are on motorcycles. I think that the thing that I love about motorcycling is that it brings all aspects of outdoor life together, and you can do all of that on two wheels. If you like to camp, you can do that on a motorcycle. If you like to camp, if you like to travel, you can do that on a motorcycle. If you like to camp and you like to, rough it, go to places that don't have showers and don't have amenities, get an adventure bike. You can do it on an adventure bike. I think there's so many opportunities to recruit younger riders because of the experience that motorcycling brings, and that's what they're looking for, right? They're looking for that experience in life. So I don't know. Hit me up in the comments below. Explain to me, are you one of those people? Do you propagate that hate? Do you hate people that ride different bikes than you? Are you part of are you part of what I would say would be the problem? I mean, and what is this intense hate for the motor company that we don't see in other things, that we don't see in Chevy hate and Ford hate, and because it's so, I would really like to see it go away, to be honest with you. I don't understand it, and I think that motorcycling has brought so many positive things to me in my life, and is such a great way to relieve stress. It's such a great way to travel. It's such a great way to make friends. With the 5 Dirty Bikers podcast that I'm involved in, it is such a great way to build community around like-minded people. And none of that's built on this intense anger or hatred for a brand or for a bike or a type of rider or somebody that rides whatever kind of bike they ride. It's so, I ride a Harley because this is what I know. This is my I was on it as a passenger when I was a kid, and I've just grown up in that world of motorcycling. And it's what I like, and it's what I choose. That's why I ride it. Are there better bikes that are faster or more economical or whatever? Absolutely. All of those things are true. But I like the soul of a Harley Davidson. I like the way it makes me feel. I like the way it sounds. I like being able to do whatever I want to with it. I like that there's an industry that supports those things. I like that there's so many different styles around it. All of these things are true about motorcycling, and I love them all. And those are all the reasons why I love Harley, because that's what it gives me. But it doesn't have to be about all of this, this hate that's surrounding it. So, like I said, I choose a different path. I choose to look at it in a positive way. I choose to be positive about it because of all the great things it's done for me, and And are there negative? For sure, but you know, you could just choose to treat it differently, to be a different type of motorcycle rider, and I think that's what it's about. So, you know, let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about brand hate, Harley hate for any other brand. Hit me up in the comments below. Tell me what you think about it, because I really want to know. I want to know where this lands for you all, because I know where it lands for me. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching my video. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified when I put up new content. And it doesn't get better than this. Riding in the second week in November in North Dakota, it does not get any better than that. So, thanks again for coming. This is Kid Moto. I'm out.